Um, Hello, my name is Basworo Wijoyokusumo. I'm from Class C from English Literature Study Program with student numbers 22114200084. In this video, I'm going to retell the story of Mice and Men. The story opens with George Milton and Lenny Small traveling together along the Salinas River in California to find work. The first one is George. He is small, wiry, and sharp-featured, while his companion Lenny is large and awkward. Lenny likes to pet a soft things in his pocket. He has a dead mouse, which George confiscates and throws into the weeds beyond the pond. Lenny offers to leave and go live in a cave, causing George to soften his complaint. As, it, as the two men sit down to eat, Lenny asks for ketchup. This request launches George into a long speech about Lenny's ungratefulness. Lenny, a lover of soft things, stroked the fabric of a girl's dress and would not let go. The locals assumed he raped her and ran them out of town. George feels sorry for losing his temper and apologizes by telling Lenny's favorite story, a plan for their future happiness. The next morning, George and Lenny arrive at the ranch and go to the bunkhouse. The old swamper Candy cleans up around the ranch despite the fact that he's missing a hand. The boss then enters the room and begins interviewing George and Lenny. He is angry that the men didn't arrive yesterday when they were supposed to. George answers all the questions for Lenny, causing the boss to question Lenny's silence. Suspicious of their partnership, the boss asks George why they left their last job. Satisfied, the boss leaves, telling them they can work after supper on Slim's grain team. The old swamper returns with an old sheepdog. George asks Candy about his dog. Curly, the boss's son, enters and sizes up George. Looking at Lenny, Curly fists his hands and assumes a fighter stance. He wants to know if they are the new guys, and when George answers, Curly insists that Lenny must talk when he is spoken to. Lenny repeats George's answers softly. Satisfied, Curly leaves to go look for his father.
Hello, I'm Althaaf with student number 22114200094. I'm going to continue the story, so here we go. With Carly Gurn, Candy explained that Carly used to be lightweight fighter and now he hates big guys and picks fight with them. Candy leaves and George tells Lenny to stay away from Carly and not speak to him and reminds Lenny of the place by the river where he is to go case of trouble, okay? And shortly after, Carly's wife comes into the bunkhouse claiming to look for Carly. Fascinated, Lenny can't take his eyes off her. Then Slim enters and tells her saw Curly go into the house. Curly's wife becomes apprehensive and leaves. Another man, Carlson, enters the bunkhouse and asks him about his new puppies, suggesting that could replace Candy's old dog. Who is old Carlson suggests that give a puppy to Candy so that he can shoot his dog and get rid of it since it is so old and smells. And chapter 3. Okay. In this chapter, Lenny gets a puppy from he tries to sneak it to the bunkhouse under his jacket on one time, but George forced him to return it to. But George him forced him to return it to its mother in the barn. Slim and Slim and George talked about Lenny and George confessed something to him. George said he takes care of Lenny because he grew up with him and his aunt Clara. So when she died, let Lenny come along with him. George tells every story about Lenny to Slim. Seems like Carlson and Candy lets Carlson take the dog of the execution. Carly enters looking for his wife. Sling is angry at Carly for constantly asking about his wife. Carly on the defensive and looking for someone to fight, picks a fight with Lenny and punches him. Lenny does not protect himself until George tells him to fight back. When Lenny does, he crushes all the bones in Carly's hand. Slim say they must get Carly to a doctor, but he cautions Carly that if he tells on Lenny and gets fired, they will spread the word about how Carly's hand really got hurt, and everyone will laugh at him. Carly agrees not to tell. Ciao.